Yesterday morning was so nice.
Oh yeah,
At least we got like a nice morning. And then we can take in the rain.
Right.
But alas, not all mornings can be perfect.
It's okay. We need the rain, I guess.
Yeah.
It'll make for a good,
I'm just selfish.
I know. Now it's
skies.
summer.
Yeah.
I want it to be summer. I guess.
I want to wake up, blue skies. Beautiful. Okay, so let's find my question sheet. All right. So we're just going to go through your experience at the practice. We're going to go through like what you were experiencing before, how your time here has been, what you've gotten out of it. You don't have to share anything that you don't feel comfortable in sharing in regards to your treatment. But if you do want to share things that you're doing, then that's also fine.
Okay.
Yeah, just very general. So let's start with what led you to our practice.
I discovered MedMatrix. I was about to turn 40, and I wanted to sort of get a baseline of what's happening in my body. I know there's things that are changing that I can't pinpoint, and I wanted to just kind of like see everything on paper. And I had seen online some advertisements and such, and did a little deep dive research and was like, you know what, this looks like somewhere that I'd feel comfortable going. The staff looked friendly. Dr. Sasha looked amazing. And, I listened to some of the podcasts and I was like, these are people that I'd like to have a conversation with. So
I love the podcast. I'm on the back end.
Oh, cool.
That's great to hear. So was there sometimes people have like a turning point where they're like, this is the point where I'm going to seek help.
Yeah.
Or is it something that you were kind of looking into anyways? It sounds like you were kind of looking into it.
I was for my own self, I was having these like lulls and periods in the afternoon where I was just so tired driving home, 3 o'clock in the afternoon, 3:30, 4 o'clock. I'm looking for, honestly, ways home that had places that I could pull off if I had to like fall asleep. And that's not normal for me. I'm a very active person. I'm really good with food and nutrition. Hydration's not an issue. So I'm like, all right, everything that worked in my 20s, and my 30s, like somehow something's changing. And again, noting that I'm headed to 40 or I just turned 40, I was like, there's gotta be some other explanation for this. So in talking with my own doctor, they were sort of like making small suggestions, maybe try this, up this, the blood work panel they do every year, not very extensive. And I'm like, there's more. If all these numbers are checking out and they say fine, there's got to be more that you could look into, right? And so those kinds of things, I don't know, they were just starting to be concerning. So tiredness, fatigue in the middle of the day, irregular cycles all of a sudden, things like that were just kind of happening that hadn't happened at 35, that at 38 or 37, 38, 39, and now 40, I'm starting to get it regulated all out. But that's why. That's kind of some stuff.
Yeah. I mean, a lot of people are like, wait till the last moment.
Yeah, right. Well, I just kind of wanted a baseline. You know what I mean? I'm like, you know what?
You're very proactive
I want to know for the next 10 years what to look for and so on and so forth. So, I don't know. It's really great.
We love proactive people.
Yeah.
We love them. So how was this, you just kind of explained how it was affecting you day to day, but what were some of the biggest challenges you were facing?
I think the biggest challenge was that I couldn't, let me think on this. Let me think how to answer this correctly. Or not correctly, but just how I want to say it.
Yeah.
Not knowing why these swings of changes were happening was really frustrating. Because like I mentioned, I do exercise, I lift, I run, I play field hockey, I hydrate, I'm fairly good with nutrition. We all have our off days, I admit, but this wasn't something I could control. Mm-hmm. And I think that not being able to just kind of, try something that I used to do and it worked, that made me feel really out of control. And not to say that I'm overly controlling, but I like to be able to have an answer. You know what I mean? I think, just not knowing what Brianna was gonna wake up that morning, because I was just kind of like, and I'm like, I'm not an angry person. Like, I don't understand why these fluxes or hormonal changes are affecting me this way. And I didn't feel comfortable living like that. And I know a lot of women who do, and they're just like, oh, I'll get to it, or this is just perimenopause, or this is menopause, and this is just what happens. We're women, we're born this way. And I'm like, but there's got to be more to handle, or more to help us with these things, right?
Yeah.
So I don't know if that answers your question.
Oh, it 100% does.
Okay.
And you are not overly controlling for that. I think a lot of the times we are kind of molded to think that in healthcare it's just like, here's an answer, you don't have to understand why.
Right.
And that's really frustrating when that answer is not solving the problem.
Right.
So that is not overly controlling.
Yeah, I didn't like that, like, here, take a multivitamin. It's like, okay, but like, I do take multivitamins. Like, what?
Like,
why? Like, why is this? And no one had an answer, so.
Yeah.
Well.
So let's talk about your experience here.
Sure.
When you first came here, or when, let's say, your first interaction with MedMatrix, you said you saw an ad and then you were on a discovery call with the patient success coordinator.
That's right. Yeah.
So how was that process to, the intake labs?
Yeah.
You did labs and the in-body.
Sure. So I had sent an inquiry and got a phone call back pretty quickly. And the person who did my intake really, told me that they were there to listen. And they did. They listened to every bit of pretty much what I just told you, where I was like, this has always been my life and this and that, and I can't understand why this is happening. And he was just so good. He's like, you're not the only, you're a perfect fit. Like, I would love for you to come in and meet the team, because I really think that this is going to be something that can help you find those answers. And I think there was something that he had said on the phone that was like, I hear you. And that was so kind. And I'm like, I'm sorry. I completely just like, everything out to you right now. And he's like, no, I hear you. I'm glad that you reached out. Like, I think we can help. I think you're a perfect fit for this team. And it was really sweet. And I was kind of like, okay, thank you. Sorry.
It's very different. It's a very different experience than what a lot of people are coming from.
Well, that, and I mean, I was probably one of those like swings that I couldn't control of myself, where I was just like, I just need to talk to somebody. And they, and for them to just kind of sit there for, honestly, I think we talked for almost 40 minutes, and it didn't need to be that long. Like, intake calls should be probably like a 15-minute, 20-minute something from someone, but they really listened and was like, what, it's okay. Like, we can help you. Like, let's check it out. You got to start here, but we'll have at least a baseline of answers to be able to give you. And I felt supported, and I liked that.
Yeah. Great team.
Yeah. Yeah, I know.
So then you came in for your initial lab panel, right?
Yep.
And how was that process coming in, like your first experience with the team here and the facility and the in-body?
Sure. So really great. I believe I met with Chantel, if that's okay to say names, and she took me in for the first in-body, and that was really cool. I hadn't had that done, and I was just kind of like shocked as to how simple it was, right? And getting that results was cool to see on paper. I really like that sort of thing. Front desk staff, very welcoming, very, hi, nice to meet you, welcome, lots of welcoming, because they knew I was a new patient. Sort of gave me the layout. And the blood panel was, a blood draw, but the conversation was good, and any questions that I had, everybody was willing to give me an answer, and I really felt good about that.
When I get the in-body done, they sit down and they explain it to me too.
Yeah.
Which is so nice.
Because I'm like, wow, that's a lot of numbers, but some of them obviously I can understand and read, but I'm just like, okay. And then Chantel had said, this is fun to see, but it's even more fun to see when you do them like every month, and you can collectively see the differences or changes that you're making. And I'm like, awesome.
It's very cool.
It's very cool. It's very cool.
And what about your initial visit? How did you go into your initial visit with your provider? Who do you see?
Dr. Sasha. Yeah.
How do you... I'm on the wait list.
Oh, you are?
I'm on the wait list for her.
Okay.
So how did you feel, I guess, entering this appointment, and then when you had exited? Like, how did the appointment go, and then how did you feel when you exited?
I don't know if I just get like doctor anxiety just because like I don't know these people, and I just, again, like, I don't want to come in and just give too much information and be like, okay, so actually you're not asking me any of those questions. I'm just telling you things because I feel like I need to. But she was so welcoming. She went over everything that was there. I had questions. I had a notebook with me because I'm that kind of person that I was like, I'm just going to take notes while we're talking. And, she was great. She told me all the differences and the concerns that she had. Or maybe I shouldn't even say concern, just advice that she had. To say, okay, this is higher, this is low, and this is how we can kind of make this work together. And I thought that was really great. So happy that she's the provider I see here.
And what about how you're feeling now?
I am feeling so much better. I think that the treatments that I'm getting here and the responsiveness from the team is actually really helpful in its own way. I think the treatments that I'm getting are absolutely, helping me feel better. I always feel better when I come in. But I also think that the responsiveness of the team of people is really, really helpful. And that's, again, the support that I wasn't getting before from my personal provider to this group of people has been really good all around.
Oh. And how are you feeling towards, your future? I know sometimes, not to cut you off, I know sometimes when you haven't been able to get answers and you're feeling not your best self, maybe not even you, we start to think differently about our health and our future. So how are you feeling about it now?
I'm feeling more certain that I can take on what's coming in the 40s with confidence and the help that I might need or the answers to questions that I might have. I don't know. This is a really good find, and I'm glad that I'm part of the Med Matrix team.
We're glad that you're here.
Thanks.
And again, I didn't say this yet, but I get to do a ton of testimonials, and it is never just a blessing experience. To hear people's stories of oh, I was not feeling myself, and I've been able to really find myself and be myself and do what I want to do again. And that's a very cool experience on my end. I get to take all these in. So thank you so much for sharing them with me.
Of course.
Last question is, how would you describe functional medicine to a friend?
I have actually described this to quite a few friends since I began with the practice, or at least as best as I can. But I think functional medicine sort of steps outside of the traditional box of, okay, we're going to look for X, Y, and Z, and if it's not there, then you're good. And so I think that functional medicine is really, practice where it's encompassing a little bit more than sorry, maybe we could start that one again, I guess, but the doing more, testing for more, seeing more of the whole person than just, these small little boxes that are standardly looked for in traditional medicine, I guess is to say.
Good
is
answer.
that I don't know that
answer.
because I try and explain it to my friends a lot where they're just like, well, what's the difference? I'm like, so much. There's so much different. Just the matter of how far they're willing to look into who you are on paper, from blood work to personality, how you're feeling, the in-body scans, all of these things. You don't get that at your normal office visits or yearly check-in. These people are here to support, which is nice.
Awesome.
Yeah.
And then I guess I lied. I have one more question.
Okay.
But, what would you say to somebody who was on the fence?
I would say just do it. I would say don't be on the fence about it. You owe this to yourself. If you've had questions this long and they're not getting answered, it's time to get answers. You deserve it. It's your body. You only have one, right? Take care of it while you're here.
It's a beautiful answer.
Thanks.
Well, thank you so much.
Of course. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, no, this is very, very well spoken about your experience.
Oh, thanks.
So to be so nervous.